just trying to reach for greatness, man. It's a long road. I'm not saying I'm great now, but I'm saying I could be one day if I keep sticking to this grind. You know what I'm talking about? It's easier to think you're famous. It's harder to work for greatness. These kids nowadays give prevalence to the latest. So
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the J-Team Brand Podcast. Josh Pizarro here with Douglas Ellerman.
Janet Simbadai with Douglas Ellerman Real Estate.
And today we got our guest here, Mike. Mike, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to our audience.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Sala. I'm the founder, CEO at solepack. We're the innovative sneaker bag company, changing how you pack your kicks on the go. We have 3 new products out there, and we'll talk about that through the course of this podcast
Innovator,
here.
I like that.
Innovative.
Let's go.
And we were talking really quickly. So I kind of wanted to get into the origins of your book bag company, because we were just kind of talking on the backdrop, and you were saying like you saw a need for it. So how did you come across this? Because this is pretty cool. I will say this. I mean, we have worked in the past with each other.
Of course.
And when I first saw I'm a big fan of like Army fatigue, everything. So when I saw that, I was like, oh man, that book bag is ill. And then I didn't realize it was a connection.
Exactly. You know, it's we created. I don't know if you can see over here. Let me drop this down a little bit for now.
Well, this is for anybody that watches us on YouTube, guys.
Gotcha. So this bag right here, this camel joint right here, was pretty much, I'm going to date myself here, probably the early 2000s, you know, commuting from Staten Island to NYU, playing ball every day. I was one of those gym rats. And
nice.
Just, you know, combining the need for, sports and books. I was just running out of room for my kicks. You know, I was always dangling them at my side, carrying my my Foot Locker bag at my side, and just, you know, it wasn't cool, man, just traveling around New York City with having this plastic bag getting stuck in subway doors and whatnot.
Yeah, so I remember those days, man. I definitely remember those days.
I'm telling you, man. So I was like, there's got to be a bag, man. So I, went all throughout New York City. I was like, there's got to be a sneaker bag accessory out there, man. I was like, if it's not New York, it's not anywhere, you know.
Exactly.
So I looked, there was none. So I was like, I was getting my PT degree at the time, physical therapy degree at the time. And I was like, all right, I got plenty of time to cut up bags and make an invention right now.
Yeah, right.
I got plenty of time. But so I just started cutting up bags at that point, and I had like this laundry bag that I cut up and I sewed 2 straps. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I set up 2 straps to it, and I had a sneaker bag on the side of my North Face backpack at the time, man. So I was like, if you can see here, I'm going to put my mic down. So this just wraps around any backpack. So this is the patented invention right here. So left shoe, right shoe, and just wraps around.
Simple. Pure simpleness.
Best inventions like it's function, man. Function, man.
Functional. Exactly.
And I think I had asked you earlier, was there a market for this? Because I would think that somebody would have came up with this years ago, right?
Seriously.
I mean,
exactly,
for all the sneakerheads. I'm not a sneakerhead.
I'm a sneakerhead. I've never seen this until I seen solepack.
This is...
that's what I thought. I treaded water. I was like, every day out there, it's like, oh, there's got to be something out there, man. There's got to be something out there. But, I filed for the patent, back in 2002, 2003. This is right after 9/11, man. So it was like, stuff still gives me goosebumps to this day. But I was like, all right, might as well. Let me try to see if there's something out there I could file a patent for. And, I was just working early days of filing a internet lawyer. So I found a lawyer. We kind of filed for the patent, got rejected the first time in 2003.
Oh, wow.
Then 2005, I got approved for a patent for this. So.
Was there a reason why they rejected it initially? Was there somebody else that had it?
No, if you dig into patents, it's how everything's worded and whatnot. So if you word it the right way, yeah, exactly. It's all lawyer talk,
gotcha.
which is but there was no I pretty much created my own lane for this, and I've been riding it little by little as the years.
So how did you get it into the manufacturing stage? Because it's one thing to create your own laundry bag that you stitched up and put a zipper on it, but then there's another thing to have it manufactured and put out to market. Right. How did you get to that point?
How much time we got here, man?
We got more than enough time. Don't worry about it.
So that was probably the hardest process of everything. I was working at a hospital in Staten Island, going to grad school in the city, NYU. I found a small business manufacturer in the garment district. Okay. But for maybe 2 years, giving me, not so great samples that come back. You wait 3 months. All right, let's make it. They'll send it back from China. I was like, so you get all excited and you get this in this bag that all the zippers in the wrong place, the labels all glued on them. So after that, I had a friend in the streetwear world. who said to me, "Yo, why don't you try a guy that makes our wallets and whatnot?" So he introduced me. He met him in the city, and he kind of cleared off his table and was like, "Oh, this is easy. Manufacturing's easy. Manufacturing's easy."
Yeah,
so pretty much
manufacturers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was, I'm always hesitant going in, like it's too good to be true. And we sat down. He cleared his table. He drafted a new pattern, and pretty much within a week or 2 weeks, I got this, this working prototype in my hand. And again, I was sitting there in my basement. I was like, yo, it's like I got something, man. So I finally got something, man, and that was probably 2009. I see you can imagine what happened from 2000. Yeah,
just to get it into manufacturing.
Yeah, man, I've been at it, man. Because in the beginning,
that's consistency.
That's consistency, man, and that's something that we try to like preach to other entrepreneurs. Like, bro, you just can't give up.
It's not no overnight success here, man.
It's hard to be consistent in something and keep having that passion for it to be able to, keep
and believe in it.
So
yes, sir.
Because it's easy to give up on a product, right? Like
very much so. It's not just a service. You're not providing a service. It's a niche product, So it's like you kind of tell yourself, should I stop now? And I had a pretty decent career at the time, which a blessing or a curse. I always say if my back was to the wall at that point, I would have maybe. But everyone has their own journey to go through. I tell people,
let's talk about that a little bit. So you were a physical therapist, and I know we discussed a little bit. For how many years?
Geez. So for right now, I'd say probably 15 plus years as a physical therapist. I got my bachelor's. I went back for my doctorate, and that's when I was going back and forth to the city, meeting pattern makers, going to grad school at night, going back to work in the city. 2 jobs as a physical therapist in Staten Island, finishing up and just, running all over the place. So it's a hustle, man. It's a hustle game. I tell you, if you're passionate about something, it's a...
So as a physical therapist and, obviously being in the sneaker game, do you get connected with like athletes through, that physical therapy field? Or is it kind of like athletes see that book bag and like, man, that's sweet.
Clients from, right?
Yeah.
Do they come from like the physical therapy world, or is it just meet and greet?
Through, I kind of didn't want the physical therapy to be my entry into the market kind of thing. Okay. So I didn't want to fall into that category. Oh, it's a health product type thing. I want to be, all right, let's, like I was talking to you earlier, I kind of reached out to all the subcultures that influenced me from a kid growing up in the 90s, from, the urban hip hop to streetwear and whatnot, and just things popping off like crazy. And that was the community that, that speaks to me as, as whatever creative elements are to this.
That was the creative side of you.
Yeah, so and those people, are always, genuine and probably would not rip off your product versus going into mainstream market. All right, I can copy that and duplicate market out there. So it's all about developing that culture from day one for me,
So speaking about getting it out to market, so have you tried to go mass market like the Foot Lockers, like those big guys? You know what I mean? Because like this looks like that, that kind of product. Like I see this in like
a on 125th. Wait, what's the
like if you see this in East Bay magazine, you're like,
I was on the corner pedaling, not in the store yet. I did whatever it takes. Lower East Side, Upper East Harlem, West Harlem, everywhere, man. But to go back to the mainstream of course, I've dabbled in that area. I've gotten to a point of all the buyers. It's an interesting point to get to where people say, we got whether it's a school buying your product or Foot Locker buying your product, they're like, we have a limited budget for accessories in that genre or that market.
It's always that budget.
So, from stores, and like we don't know if it's a proven product yet. So that always leads me to go back to the community that, put us on from the beginning. So it's
they're the ones
grassroots. They're the ones that just keep on pushing that platform up. Like that's from the ground up, and that's the foundation. So
my goal is to make so much noise that, things can't be denied, is what I say,
That.
So collaborations, man, do you have any interesting collaborations coming up? Because I could see that again, getting some kind of designer on there and throwing their like kind of touch on just the material side of things.
Sure, but I can't divulge too much here.
Well, you can't give us all of it, but
2018
past
is
collaborations that you have done.
Your year?
I say 2018 is the summer is our year of expression.
Okay.
I'll break down a few of the things of, in the past, we were able to work with like the folks from Clicks. They're like the Run DMC inspired from. Shout out to Shake. Jam Master Jay's best friend from back in the day. He's out in Milwaukee now, so they were one of the Jazz Ray Lord. She's always been our day one person that kind of connects us to a lot of people in the sneaker world. So she put us on to the Clicks family. So we were in the Run DMC. We put some Run DMC, Jam Master Jay Forever stuff. You know, for me, it's like, yo, that's
that's a big
dude, that's
deal.
giving me chills.
Yeah,
just
man.
thinking about
You're real humble right now. That's a big deal.
No, yeah, it was small, man. Just small little jump offs, man. From I tell Jazzy this from day one. I was watching. I tell you, I'm old school. I was watching the show Graffiti Rock. YouTube Graffiti Rock. All you young school cats out there. It's just this old school, almost like the Soul Train, the hip hop of Soul Train.
Yeah.
You know, people break the New York City breakers dancing and whatnot. And so I'm watching that. And Jazz Ray's telling me, you know, we got the Run DMC folks want to do something. You know, then I was watching the episode, and you know, Daryl and Run DMC are doing their thing. I was like, wow, this is it was meant to be.
Hard to go into your stomach when you were told that. Like,
Yeah,
holy
man.
crap, man! I'm in here with these. This
It's
is
crazy, man. But
is
again, that
as
was
good
just
as
a
it
small,
gets.
low-key thing. And
Nice.
I think for the summer, we're working with a few graffiti artists, local and on the West Coast. So I'm trying to get to the West Coast in the summer.
Nice.
Like you said, different materials. One of these local manufacturers I hooked up with, we're doing a line of locally sourced fabrics and everything, and their pieces are gonna be like
One of a
are gonna
kind.
be donning our bags, and that's what I want our bags to be like. The white train that goes by that you know the
Have the
canvas for the
on it.
expression, man. So
and it's so true.
it's crazy, man.
It's true, man. You're giving your bag style, bro.
Yeah,
like
man.
that was the first. Like I said, I'm a big Camel fan. It's the first thing that popped out. It wasn't the book bag. It was the Camel that stepped out of it. I was like, oh
Let me
man.
ask you a question. What's this initial over here?
Speaking of like the old school, BR is for our bridge runners. Shout out to our bridge runner
shout
family,
out Bridge Runners.
man.
That's LES dudes.
Our LES family that
Family, man.
they started the whole urban running movement, and I linked up with them maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and they just been putting us on since day one. And like I said, no one's looking to take anyone's ideas. It's all about uplifting the community. It's a bunch of creative folks in that area. So
Shout out to LES,
Queens
man.
Rebels. Everybody. It's been the MTAR crew uptown. A Woo crew.
Queens
Everybody. All
Is that
these
a
urban
basketball
running
team?
groups. The whole urban running scene.
Okay,
man.
nice, nice.
When
It's
you say
quite
running, you mean like track and field running?
running like through the streets of New York
Yeah.
City, man.
Like New York
I'm
City
just trying
joggers.
to like piece it together.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's,
sure if that's like a sport. Like
Nah, they have a community, man.
Yeah,
There's a
man.
big
It's
community
huge.
behind.
Like every major
runners in
city,
New York
there's like
City.
an urban running movement, and I was able to link up with a few of our local cats here, and like I said, they've just been putting us on since day one. And shout out to everybody if I missed you, man.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. But now, as far as what's the next step for solepack outside of 2018 collaborations? Like, is this something that you want to just take over the street market and like the street world, like street fashion, or is it something that you want mass produced for like you said you were working with athletes, NFL athletes and stuff like that? Is that where you see solepack going?
Yes, I see like almost the perfect blend of creating your unique angles with the creative art project that you could do on the side, but still maybe step a little bit more into the mainstream world with more store presence and whatnot, but still have the regular basic line, the standard line, that general release stuff for our teams out there that we work with, to anybody from general travelers that we're trying to work with. Like I said, we've had such with the advent of social media, I'm sure you cover that in a lot of your podcasts, but the turn of that has been gave everyone a platform to kind of speak out and
speak on it
and elevate each other. From we work with a lot of travel bloggers that shout out to our guys. Am I allowed to shout out all the time?
Shout out everybody.
The Bird's Eye Babes. They
absolutely.
travel. Fit Wanderluster. They travel and all throughout Europe and all throughout the United States, and they just post their bags and they create that lifestyle feel for us. So my big picture is to create that all the genres, the niches, solepack travel, solepack basketball, solepack running, solepack sneaker lifestyle. So it's the umbrella is pretty big, and just to elaborate and further take that to the next stages for 2018
so
and
it is in this
beyond.
bag. I
I
love
kind of
it.
want to know, is there anything special that you do with social media in order to promote your product, or do you just do like?
I'm a big fan of your videos.
Thank you, man. Anything special? Not really. I try to keep it organic. It's a lot of it's just it's almost like you go into your mind of you become like a writer. You get in like writer's block. You kind of just feed off what the community tells you is what the vibe out there. And try not to make it. Always try to keep it fresh. Every once in a while you get into reposting things, but it's always about trying to post fresh content and a new message. I always find there's several ways to say the same thing sometimes to bring fresh content up, whether you reuse a picture, but there's always a new angle to look at either the picture the same way or just a concept that you had in your head. But you get into that mode, it's like, wow, it's like you just, you're in my biggest thing, for me, it's in the shower, man. You close your eyes and you hear the water running and boom.
That's ideas.
Like, oh man, let me get my pen out when I get out of the shower.
when you're in the shower, when you're in the bathroom, that's when you get your best ideas. Nobody's bothering you.
True, man. Yeah, man. That's your time. Your time, man.
So let me ask you, man, because I know, we've worked with each other in the past, and I know you also have daughter.
Yes.
2 daughters.
Yeah, 2 daughters now.
2 daughters. So how do you juggle being a dad and being a physical therapist alongside running a business? People don't realize how much it truly, truly takes to be an entrepreneur in this world, man. So it's like, I definitely love to speak to parents and see how they find their balance.
A lot of, first, it's all about communication and understanding for, an open line of communication between you, your spouse. That's the foundation right there. It's, much love to my wife, Linda, my 2 kids, Maddie and Lila. And those guys, it's as much craziness as they add to it. They add fuel to the fire, man. It's like, why are you doing things? It's because, these little girls are like, Dad, how can I help Solepack out? Like, they help me package things in the morning on the weekends. It's like, here's your quarter, man. Here's your $1 for carrying the big package up the stairs. So it's like, you run out. It's time management. That's the stuff you have to learn to, mature with. It's a lot of sacrifice. Back in the day, it's when you buried yourself into coffee shops, into bookstores, or just reading. It's you take away from. I'm not a big reader. People ask me, "Oh, you read that novel?" I'm like, I'm reading this business biography. I read business biography. Now I'm listening to podcasts, man. It's like. Man. So a lot of sacrifice, man. Just burying yourself, allocating. And I lose a lot of sleep by saying, people are like, you got to sleep more. I'm like, hey, man, I don't even think of 9 to 5. I don't think I need to get 8 hours. I just vibe. I'm like, all right, I'm up now. I'm going to work now. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep now. So it's an interesting place once you dig your teeth into a living, product and business.
Absolutely, man. No, that's awesome, though, man. I mean, and not only that, but you are the standard to your family. You're putting that together for them. So that's awesome that you have that open line of communication. Because being a parent and then running a business is not easy.
No, man.
Not easy.
Yes, man.
So and that sacrifice away from the kids is like one of the hardest things that people don't really realize that entrepreneurs have to do. So it's good. It's good to get that interesting perspective from there.
So I wonder with physical therapy, because you're still currently a physical therapist.
Yes, correct.
And are you phasing out of that now to solely, focus on Solepack?
Now more than I ever was. I still keep a foot in the door to help pay some bills, man. And
light on.
So I'm there, I still have to take continuing education courses. So I'm there reading on total knee replacements, and then you got to flip that switch. It's about wearing a lot of different hats and just growing your team a little bit and having I guess we can speak on that too. But if I'm trying to phase myself out more than ever. But I love physical therapy has given me the perspective. I work with a lot of people with not just the cosmetic, ankle sprains. People who suffer from long-term disability injuries, and it's like you work with them you focus to work with them for like an hour and whatnot. Then you come out of there, it's like, am I really worried about this issue? I can't get my bag out to this person in time. So it gives you perspective, but makes you work harder at the same time and take you, man. So it's like, all right, I'm going to go really hard, man. This person has a hard time just taking a few steps. That's why I run a lot. I'm like, I got to run, man. As hard as running is, I hated running, but I do for my patients, my people that struggle to just take like 1 or 2 steps, man. Like I owe it to them. I got to run, man. It's like,
no, dude, that's an interesting perspective, like you said, man. Like that's awesome.
So do you? How many? You said your team. Do you have a team, or is it just you?
I got it's primarily just me. I got a few people that, from my graphics person that's part of the company, a few people that mostly just offer advice. When time comes to actually design and whatnot, we'll get some feedback, but 95% it's myself, and
That's a lot.
And just
That's a
man,
lot,
so-
man. Yeah, it usually sounds like you're gonna start need to build a team
Yeah,
behind
exactly.
it.
That's part of 2018, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Send me your
okay.
resumes, everybody.
Submit all interns and resumes, all right, guys? Seriously.
But I work, being out of Staten Island, I work with the Richmond Hood Company a lot, who's, they kind of help us put us on the map, too. Before I forget to mention them, our man Tariq out there has always been putting us on, and from the beginning, it's one of those stores. It's like being from Staten Island. It's like, oh man, I'm so nervous to walk into the store. Then you just start developing relations. A lot of it's all relationships, and as you know from your business, you go in there. Just good people will, good energy. You'll vibe off good energy. You'll attract that same like energy, and they've been putting us on since day one. We're doing like lifestyle events through them now and everything, and we're doing a run coming up this Saturday. So we kind of just inspire movement in our communities as Staten Island tries to get a little bit more recognized for more positive things.
Listen, man, some big things have started happening in Staten Island, bro. Listen, when it comes to development, listen, when it comes to development, y'all sleeping. I pay attention to everything that comes along.
It's interesting being in the real estate.
Staten Island kind of reminds me of Baltimore a little bit. Like,
interesting.
I kind of think you're your own. Like, you're not part of New York. Type of thing.
I will say that, but they do have. So I don't know if you are familiar with development that's going on in Staten Island, but they have like a big Ferris wheel or something like that's going to be overlooking
biggest
New
one
York
in the
City.
world, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
My wife makes fun of me
world.
for that. She's like,
some type of.
Oh no, like just the whole forefront is
right where the Yankee Stadium is there.
Yeah.
There's the Irby development over there,
Yeah,
and they're trying to connect that whole. Come on, man, you gotta.
No, listen, man. For me, if transportation is easier to the island, then it opens up eyes and more people that want to see it.
A free ferry. It's one of the only free things in the world.
Go ahead and throw that free.
Free ferry.
Yeah.
You won't go there.
How many things you know in New York City are free?
Sometimes you need a break.
I don't know about you, but I'll
Need
take a free ferry any
instead of
day.
driving down to that little.
One time, and
missing
it
out,
was
man.
cool. It was cool. I didn't really get to.
He's
missing out, man.
He's missing out.
It's like the new,
doubt that, but okay.
It's how people never went out to Williamsburg before, that now there's galleries popping up on Staten Island,
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't sleep, guys. Don't sleep, man.
Same thing, just like the bag, man. We'll make it undeniable that you got to come out there, man.
Right. I like that.
What I need you to do is I need you to make. We were talking. I need you to make a heel
bag, yes.
for heels because I don't.
You know
I own
what?
3 sneakers.
You can fit heels in here, man. It might be,
but it has to be cuter.
Protected,
like,
yeah, gotcha.
More girlish.
You got a floral
Girlish.
pattern.
Something like that. I don't know. Maybe some jewels or something.
Oh man, Mike. No, listen, man. I appreciate you coming up to the JT Brand Podcast, bro. I really, really
awesome.
do. If you want to leave anything, just say to the audience.
Shop solepack, man.
Yeah, and shout out solepack, man.
Well, again, I want to give an extra shout out to Josh, man. We were talking about it earlier, man. Josh did a nice little mile out to man. We did a little photo shoot with us, man.
I'm not a model.
Yes, he was, man. He was out there in the cold, man, and
it was cold. It was cold.
And we know he hates the cold.
Yeah, I'm not with it, man. I'm just not with it. But, nah, man. I appreciate you definitely coming up. At the end of the day, you made time for us, and
of course, man.
we appreciate hearing your story,
awesome.
man.
I mean,
follow us at Solepack at Solepack. SOLEPACK. We got a lot of spring sales going on there. If you buy one, you get you buy the whole sneaker kit and you get a few sale items there, and just follow the movement, man. It's growing, and appreciate all the support from all our day one supporters to people that come on board now. So thank you guys for having me, man. It's all about spreading love.
It's all about spreading love and spreading the movement,
I love
man.
it. And I love that you brought the product so people can see it.
Yeah, and if you guys are listening to us on iTunes, watch us on YouTube if you want to see the product.
Yes.
And maybe we can even put the link on if people want to shop it.
I'll create a coupon code
we'll
for
make
the
sure
JT brand and whatnot. No doubt, man. That's
right here. Make sure you put that
Yes.
3 Lens Media link right here, and then it's going to come up.
Cool,
It's really cool. That's what's editing for.
Thank you, guys.
But anyway, thank you guys for listening to the JT Brand Podcast. As usual, love. Keep on sharing, liking. Our audience is growing, man.
Yeah.
Our audience is growing, and I'm excited.
Support, share.
And we're on every single
everything.
platform, literally on everything. Appreciate y'all. Love.
It's easy to think you famous. It's harder to work for greatness. These kids nowadays give prevalence to the latest. So if the party started 8ish, I'm coming like next Tuesdays. They like when your life's debated. They love when you